In this video, we are going to get Python and Visual Studio Code installed on your Windows computer. Visual Studio Code is the code editor that we're going to use in this course. We'll talk about that in a minute, but right now you should be at python.org. If you click on Downloads here, you'll get this big yellow button. The version might be a little bit different for you. That's okay. As long as it's not version 4, go ahead and click on that. This is the latest stable version for Windows. And when it is done installing, go ahead and click on it, and it will pop up. Now stop. Do not click install now yet. Please wait. Down at the bottom here, this should automatically be checked. I have no idea why Python and or Microsoft has not fixed this, but this needs to be checked or you are going to be in for a lot of problems down the road. When we run Python from the terminal window, which we're going to do all the time, this needs to be checked or you're going to have a bunch of issues I won't be able to help you with, okay? So please make sure that is checked. We don't need to do any customization, so go ahead and click install now. It will run through the installation process. It takes as long as it takes, so I will see you when it's done. Okay, it says setup was successful. It may give you an option down here of saying, hey, do you want to enable your path variables to be longer? I would say go ahead and do that just to be safe. Again, we don't want to run into issues where you have maybe an odd path file or some strange setup. We want this to be able to run, so go ahead and click that if you get it, but I am going to click close. And so now, if I come down here to our Windows search, and I type in term, it will bring up at the top the command prompt, which is an app, and it is the terminal. Okay, you can also get there by doing CMD, it doesn't matter, but go ahead and click that. And this is one of the scariest things in the world to new programmers. So don't feel bad if it looks intimidating, right? This black and white text, this is where power users are at. Why? Well, you are going to be a power user before long here. You are now able to type in Python -- version, and it should kick back the version that we just installed, okay? You can also just type in Python, and it will bring you those same 3 arrows where we can do 3+4, you can do print, and we'll send it, hi, Rob, like that. Okay, everything works exactly the same in the terminal window here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and exit. Okay, now we're not in Python mode anymore, so if I do 3+4, Windows will say I have no idea what you're talking about, right? That's exactly why. I'm going to leave the terminal window here with exit, and I have Visual Studio Code open. You can literally Google Visual Studio Code, and it will bring you to this page, but it's code.visualstudio.com. Not Visual Studio, we want Visual Studio Code. Those are different programs. The other one is for running C# and doing app development, things like that, okay? It should give you a big blue button here that says download for Windows. I'm going to go ahead and click that. You're of course free to use anything that you want. If you want to use PyCharm or Sublime or whatever, just know that in this course I'm going to use Visual Studio Code, so it's probably best if you use what I use, but if you're comfortable with another code editor, that is just fine. Okay? When it is done, open it up. Okay, that gets me to here. You have to accept Microsoft's agreement if you want to be able to proceed, so I'm going to do that and click next. You can change your directory if you want to. There's almost never any reason to, so I'm going to click next. Okay, it brings us to, do you want it in your start menu folder? I do, so I'm going to leave it there. Okay, so stop here for just a second. Do you want to create a desktop icon? That's totally up to you. I'm going to click it and say yes. These other two will give you the ability to right-click on a folder and choose Open with Code, meaning Visual Studio Code. These are really useful, I think. It's just a quicker way to be able to open up our Python files, and we're going to have a lot of them, okay? So go ahead and click Next whenever you are ready. It's absolutely essential that you have this bottom one here clicked, that Add to Path. It's the same thing as before. So we're going to click Next. Going to click Install. Again, it takes as long as it takes. When it is done, let's go ahead and launch Visual Studio Code. You should be looking at something that looks like this. If you come up to the terminal option up in the menu, you can choose New Terminal. There's also Control Shift Plus will do the same thing. It will open up here. Now, if I type in Python, it tries to open up the Microsoft Store. In order to get this to work, you have to close Visual Studio Code so that the shell or so that the terminal restarts inside of Visual Studio Code. Go ahead and open it back up, and now if you type in Python, you will get what you expect. Okay? So you have got Visual Studio Code and you've got the current version of Python installed. You're in good shape. I'll see you in the next video.